Have you ever been home alone and felt like you weren't really alone? In a remote corner of a forgotten town, obscured by a dense forest, there's a house that whispers chilling tales on the wind. The locals call it Hollow House, the birthplace of the most disturbing home alone horror stories. The mere mention of it after twilight is enough to send shivers down the spine. The legend of Hollow House is steeped in mystery and terror, a place where the paranormal and the real blend into a terrifying brew. It is a house that has seen far too many sunsets, and with each one, its eerie legend grows. It's a place where the walls seem to breathe with a life of their own, exhaling secrets that are best left untold. And then there's Sarah, a young woman armed with nothing but her camera and a daring spirit who decides to spend a night there alone. Her story adds a chilling new chapter to the legend of Hollow House. As Sarah enters the house, she is greeted by an eerie coldness and the heavy silence of a place forgotten by time. A shiver runs down her spine as she steps over the threshold, the creaking floorboards beneath her feet sounding like a mournful groan. The air tastes of dust and time, as if the house itself is breathing out centuries of secrets. The dim flicker of her candlelight casts long, trembling shadows that dance and sway on the cobweb-laden walls. Each room she explores feels like intruding into a forgotten chapter of a haunting tale, the silence only broken by the distant echo of her own heartbeat. In a room shrouded in darkness, she stumbles upon an old, weather-beaten journal. As she blows off the dust, the pages flutter open, revealing the inked chronicles of the house's grim past. Each entry is a chilling testament of the unexplained and the supernatural, stories of strange noises in the night, of people vanishing without a trace, of fear lurking in every corner. With each word, Sarah can feel the dread creeping up her spine, a cold realization that she is not alone in this forsaken house. The whispers grow louder, resonating off the decaying walls, a symphony of the spectral. The house seems to breathe with her, its cold exhales chilling her to the bone. The clock strikes midnight, and Sarah's fear reaches its peak. The whispers grow louder, the walls seem to close in, and the house reveals its true, terrifying nature. As the witching hour descends upon Hollow House, the silence is broken by a symphony of the paranormal. The quiet of the midnight hour is pierced by the anguished wails of unseen entities, cries that seem to seep out from the very walls of the house. Sarah, our brave but foolhardy explorer, feels the prickly sense of icy fingers trailing along her skin, a spectral touch that sends shivers down her spine. Her heart pounds in her chest, each beat echoing the ticking of the ancient grandfather clock in the hallway. The house seems to come alive around her, as if it's breathing, watching, waiting. The air grows colder, the shadows deeper, the silence more ominous. With every creak and groan of the old wooden floorboards, Sarah's courage dwindles, replaced by a mounting sense of dread. Suddenly, the stillness is shattered by the sound of something moving. Objects begin to shift of their own accord. A chair slides across the room, a book falls off a shelf, and a door slams shut with a deafening bang. It's as if the house itself is rearranging its contents, manipulating its environment, asserting its dominance. The spectral wails grow louder, more desperate, an eerie chorus that resonates through the cavernous rooms and long, dark corridors. Sarah can feel the presence of the unseen, the ethereal inhabitants of Hollow House, their sorrow and anger palpable in the chilling air. In the dim candlelight, Sarah catches a glimpse of fleeting shapes, shadowy figures that dart in and out of sight, their movements erratic, their forms indistinct. The flickering candlelight casts monstrous silhouettes on the peeling wallpaper, transforming the mundane into the grotesque. Sarah's heart races, her breath comes in short, panicked gasps. She tries to escape, to find a way out of this nightmare, but the house seems to shift around her, trapping her within its haunted walls. Doors slam shut, trapping her in a maze of darkened corridors, each one more foreboding than the last. Desperation sets in as Sarah realizes she is trapped, no longer alone. She is a prisoner in the house of horrors, a puppet in the hands of the unseen, a participant in a grim dance with the supernatural. Hollow House has claimed another victim, another chapter in its haunting history. The spirits of Hollow House manifest before Sarah, whispering tales of long-forgotten sins and seeking revenge. Suddenly, the darkness that had been her only companion in the house gave way to spectral apparitions. They were the spirits of Hollow House, their translucent forms emanating a cold, eerie light. Their faces, twisted in torment, reflected the anguish of their past lives. Sarah could hear their whispers, like the rustling of dry leaves in the wind. They spoke of tragedies that had occurred within the house's walls, of lives cut short and dreams left unfulfilled. They spoke of their own deaths, of the terror they had felt in their final moments. They told her of their longing for retribution, their desire to make the living feel the fear they had experienced. She felt a chill run down her spine as she realized the gravity of her situation. She was trapped in the house with vengeful spirits, her only exit blocked by unseen forces. The whispers grew louder, the spectral forms more distinct, as if they were drawing strength from her fear. Desperation clawed at her. She ran from room to room, her frantic footsteps echoing through the empty house. But every door she tried was locked, every window barred. She was a prisoner in the house, a plaything for the spirits that haunted it. The whispers turned into screams, the spectral forms into grotesque figures of terror. They closed in on her, their ghostly fingers reaching out to touch her. She could feel the coldness seeping into her, could feel her strength ebbing away. In her final moments, Sarah understood the true horror of Hollow House. It wasn't just the creaking floorboards, the whispering walls, or the flickering candlelight. It was the spirits that lived within, their desire for revenge, their need to make the living feel their torment. With a final, bone-chilling scream, Sarah's presence becomes just another chapter in the house's gruesome history. And so, the tale of Hollow House continues, its chilling legend growing with each new victim, each new story of horror and despair. Sarah's camera lay abandoned on the floor, capturing only the darkness that had consumed her. This chilling tale is a stark reminder of the true horror that can lurk within the walls of an old, forgotten house. The legend of Hollow House, with its whispering walls and vengeful spirits, is a testament to the eerie reality of Home Alone horror stories. The legend of Hollow House endures, a cautionary tale for those who dare to seek answers in the shadows of the past.